The Australian Foundation has leaked a draft internal Forestry Commission report, which found up to 80% of smaller logging operators had broken the Forest Practices Code. The report recommends smaller sawmillers shouldn't be granted a woodchip licence until the practices improve, a statement rejected by the sawmillers who describe the report as unfair.
The Forest Practices Act has been in place since the end of 1987 and is designed to improve the environmental impact of logging operations. The report was prepared over 6 months and researchers surveyed 66 smaller sawmillers, and it seems forest practices aren't being adhered to in many cases. Up to 80% had not or weren't complying with the code. Several had a belligerent attitude and regarded the code as a threat to their livelihood, though this improved over the last 6 months. There was a need for training in all aspects of forest harvesting, notably in the areas of roads. The Commission itself was found to be somewhat hamstrung, given difficulty in mounting a successful prosecution and the costs involved. Perhaps most significantly, a woodchip licence for small sawmillers was seen as undesirable until forest practices improved.
And what this report shows is that the Forestry Commission has virtually no control over those environmental impacts on private land and is almost powerless to stop the damage that's being done.
The Country Sawmillers Federation, which formed last month in part to fight for a woodchip quota for smaller operators, has slammed the report as unfair. President Ike Kelly concedes there are problems, which he feels are largely the result of poor education of loggers regarding the code. He's questioned why only small operators were surveyed and says the granting of a woodchip licence would provide funding for the often expensive measures required under the code. Forestry Commissioner Evan Rowley says the report is part of a self-imposed process of improving the environmental standards of logging and expects the recommended improvements to be implemented shortly.
An embarrassment